I know it won't alone. That secret love, when you get me wrong.
Well, just an intro to get you in the right mood. Well, you're just going through serious problems right now. My name's Rev.Hawksblood. I'm calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. You know, we got serious things going on every which way. And it seems like people don't want the truth. They're living in this fantasy world. They think everything's okay or everything's going to be okay. They listen to all these speakers out there telling everybody how spiritual we're going to be and the world's going to be and everything's going to change and be so beautiful. But the sad part, they don't know where they're living on this planet, what this planet really is. They don't know what their true mission is. And they're creating a scenario to try to make people happy. Well, when we're dealing with serious problems, it's hard to create a synthetic reality that people are going to accept and say, okay, everything's cool. You heard of the Matrix. Well, we're kind of living in a matrix, and it's controlled by certain things. What they are is a couple different things, but I don't know if you're ready to get into all that right now. But the question is, when I talk to people, everybody says they have a truth. They got their truth. What is your truth? No matter who you are, who you think you are, where you came from, what is your truth? Think about it. It's true. It's true. No, it's not. Your truth's not true. Where'd you get it? A truth comes from an experience. And what's your experience? What led you to your truth that you believe that you have? Well, it's like this. You start off when you're little, your parents program you. Oh man. Excuse me. All of a sudden, the window's open. Grass, smell grass blowing in. All right. Then you go to school. You get programmed in school. You follow a religion, which your parents usually put you in. And that's becoming part of your truth. Whether you say it's your truth or not, you take bits of that and create something with it. Something that you feel is yours. Now, what is a real truth? A real truth is something that you know is a fact, nobody can change it, and you proved it to yourself. All right. Do you have one? Do you know one? Well, people can say their religion's their truth, their path. I see we got problems. Let me close that window. Sorry. What can I say? It's a noisy town right now. Okay, so what do you call your truth? What did you get it? What does it mean to you? Well, it's what you feel about life. It's what you feel the right things you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to be looking for and supposed to do in life. Most people assume by programming that we're here to help people. Help people what? Build a house, get a job, get better, stay healthy. What is it you think our truth is that affects other people? And then what's your truth do for yourself? Tells you you're smart, tells you you're spiritual, tells you whatever you want to tell yourself. What is truth? Now, the song I was playing is called Cindy's Song. Her truth was pretty sad. All right, it's about a young girl who is being entered her room at nighttime by her father. And the sad part is she doesn't know where to go and how to get out of the situation. So, people are led into scenarios and they usually learn to accept them. So, what I'm saying is, your truth is becoming accepted. Accepted because you go through it too many times, or you hear it too many times, or you're told it too many times by your mother, your father, or you're just pushed in a situation where you think it's your problem or your reality. I mean, abuse is one of the biggest crimes on the planet, the most serious ones in my book. Murder, you leave the planet. You don't have to deal with it anymore. Sexual abuse and abuse, you deal with the rest of your life. It's the way you're going to meet and accept people from then on. So right then and there, your truth changes by the effects of things that happen to you. You can't forgive them or forget them. People say, "Oh, I forgot it." No, you didn't. It's ingrained within you until the day you die. All right. Now, there's something called rebirthing, where it's supposed to like start over, reborn yourself, and forget everything that happened. Well, but it's trying to cover up the past. And then you live in this fantasy that everything's okay. But it's not. Truth has a lot to do with your karma. Your karma creates the way you're going to live, how you're going to live, what's going to happen. Now, that's based on everything you did from all your past lives. Nobody's karmaless, or they wouldn't be here right now. Now, the sad part is nobody wants the truth. No religion is trying to get close to the truth. No spiritual path wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants the truth. They rather deal in la la land, create their so-called truth, and believe it. I'm going to go into every aspect of it: the UFO world, the spiritualists, the Muslims, the Christians, the Protestants, the Jewish. All the people have their programmed truth, their idea of God, their idea of who Jesus was, their idea of what they believe in, whether it's the universe, the star system, sun, the moon. What is creating the reality? And why? Well, the sad part is your reality is called hell. Oh no, it's beautiful. Things are beautiful. You could hear that. You could look at things and say they're beautiful. Can you get the whole world to agree on that? I don't know. Go to the ocean, say it's beautiful. Can you get the whole world to agree on that? Say the mountains, the woods, everything's beautiful. Can you get the whole world to agree on that? What man does to things is horrible. Man only learns how to destroy things. We can go into all those debates, which is on every ancient alien show, every UFO show, how this and that. Well, the aliens did this a long time ago. Doesn't make them better in any way. People, if you're following a UFO person, check out their story. See how real it is. See their proof. 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 Their proof. They don't have any. 90% or 99% have a story to tell. And it's somebody else's story. Pictures are probably the most common proof of anybody's story, but that's even limited because there's very few good pictures of anything. There's not one good picture of a real solid alien in this reality with a person standing next to him. And how real is it when you do see one? Okay, then we talk about Bigfoot. How come we don't have a real good picture of a Bigfoot? I was a foot away from one, and I wish I had my camera on me and all those kind of things, but I didn't. But when you talk about real photographs, real videos, yeah, you can film UFOs. They're up there all day long, all night long. It doesn't take a Superman, a super being, or a spiritual giant to take a picture of a UFO. To get it to come down and say hi is something that has never happened publicly. And 98% of all the stories told about it are lies, programmed ideas, or just programmed, being programmed. Somebody's brought up just recently about the story that happened in Africa where a ship landed by a school. All the school kids were playing outside, and a couple aliens got out of the ship and walked over to them. And they had this inner communication. And then the ship took off. There was, I think, one teacher there that saw it, and she didn't want to say anything. She just made the children draw what they saw and spoke about what they saw. And now they're going after these people 20 years later and trying to get them to talk about it. Well, something that old, does it help us in any way? Well, they really landed. Now they're going to say they're little people. They were this. They were Chinese people. They were, the excuse and the stories people create to make their truth real. Well, when an alien ship lands here and the aliens step out, it will be a real truth for the whole world. Until that happens, it will not be. Oh, well, the government said they released 2 UFO files, pictures of a Tic Tac. I've been filming ships half of my life. Sergeant 18, who I worked with many years, and we filmed creatures. We filmed all kinds of weird stuff. We're the first people to film orbs and go public with that, saying we can film orbs anywhere, which we did. So, where are we going with any of this? Nowhere! All your truth and all your stories of aliens coming, taking you to another planet, showing you the universe, explaining how we got here, it's all lies. Oh no, they're telling us the truth. Why? Even if they could tell us what's going to happen tomorrow, is that beneficial to us? They're going to tell us what they want to tell us about tomorrow, not what we want to know about tomorrow. Can we tell them make it snow tomorrow in California or in the desert? Can we tell them to do something and they can do it? Even if they could, they don't. And it's not going to be what we want. So their truth is their truth, which is pretty much programmed by whatever programmed them. They don't deal with God. Neither do 99% of the people on this planet. They deal with an idea, a programmed idea, which is their truth, by conditioning to create that idea within their own consciousness. If you're told over and over and over and over and over again that when you close your eyes, this white being is going to come to you and it's going to be Jesus. So you wake up out of bed, you're half asleep, and you see this white image comes to you, you're going to say it's Jesus. The tall whites have a certain characteristics. The reptilians have a characteristic. The grays have a characteristic. The Nordics are like what people would assume Jesus is like. And people see them and they say, oh, they were with Jesus. They pretend to be good. They pretend to be and tell us what we want to hear. When you hear anything you want to hear, you know it's a lie. Because what do you want to know? Do you want to know something about a real God? No. You want to know about the programmed idea of God. Oh, God's a loving, compassionate being. It cares about you. Really? Do you really think you do anything that God has to watch you and be waiting for you and help you and guide you? For what reason? And what are you going to do when you get there? You have no clue what's going to happen to you when you die. What you're going to do after you die. No priest, no rabbi, no minister can tell you that. The New Age people tell you stories. Well, the Anunnaki, Well, it's not the Anunnaki that's going to make or create us, or did create us, or changed us as people. They changed our thinking. That's all they did. Change our DNA. No, we didn't grow 10 fingers because they changed it from 1 finger. We didn't grow 2 eyes because we had 1. We weren't a cyclops. I mean, all these things. Zecharia Sitchin took a story and brainwashed the population in the UFO world pretty much to the tilt. Hopefully it blows apart somewhere soon. And it's lies. The Anunnaki are not who created us, not who even brought us here. So the stories are half-assed, and then you want to prove them right, prove them wrong. Where did the dinosaurs come? Did the Anunnaki create the dinosaurs too? And then they turned them into humans? What's the story with that? How many races were here? Lots of races. In Atlantis. I'm aware of all my lives back to Atlantis in one lifetime before that. There were 9 races here. 3, 6, 9. And there's a reason for those numbers. I will not go into that in detail, but 4 races stayed here. And I'm sure you know what colors they are. Quote, colors. And people aren't really colors. We're not yellow. We're not red. But if you want to go into true colors in Atlantis, there was the green race, the blue race, purple race. I mean, and they became spiritual beings, one of each color. And they left this reality. So deities aren't here no more. They don't walk around on a planet. Angels come here for a short period of time. They don't come here to hang out with you. They don't come here to be your best friend. Guides are souls a little more spiritual than you are that decided they want to help souls to move forward. And then they spend a pretty long infinity working with a few souls in each lifetime. And they feel good about doing that. But they're only helping souls go from this physical world to the next realm, which is called the astral plane. That's nowhere you should be focusing on, nowhere you should desire to go. And then we got ignorant scientists, brainwashed programming scientists that tell us all these ridiculous stories, the black hole, the Big Bang. Big deal. It's useless. It doesn't mean anything, and they cannot prove it. Well, we can do this and this and that, and we proved age. They can't prove what day or what month, what year certain things happened. When did the dinosaurs leave and when did the humans come here? They lived here at the same time. Well, that's scientists' ideas. No, we evolved from a dinosaur. A dinosaur turned into a cat, and the cat turned into a dragon, and the dragon turned into a mouse, and the mouse turned into a lion, and the lion turned into a human. How do you want to put your scenario together? Any which way you go about it, it's ridiculous. Or a monkey and us. Well, what about everything else then? How come a dolphin has a brain like every human does? It's smarter than a monkey is. Why is that? How is it? How can they use 2 different parts of their brain, which humans can't? They use radar and sonar, which humans cannot do. All right, now let's get past that. What is your truth? Come on, tell me. You know I got a truth. Well, you can't tell nobody what it is because you don't have one. Oh, yes, I do. What is it? Well, it's mine. Well, if it's yours, tell everybody what it is. And they can't. Oh, well, I believe. You believe. Another imaginary word. I believe. You don't know. You don't know where you're going when you're dying. You don't know how you got here. You don't know why you came here. No, you don't. You're programmed, and you believe your stupid program. People, you better wake up. You got Trump in office, and he could be here for another 4 years, and imagine what's going to happen to the planet then. Now, on the other hand, Trump doesn't believe in global warming. He doesn't believe in a lot of the most serious things. And recently, Biden is changing his viewpoint. Now, you know how Trump says we're going to frack and we're going to use coal, we're going to use wood, we're going to do everything we have to do to make jobs. It's not going to help mankind move forward in any way. It'll create jobs, useless jobs, which we don't need more. You know, how about controlling sex? Sex is the number 1 important thing on this planet, period. Rich, poor, whatever race or color you are, it doesn't matter. Sex is the most important thing. Why is that? Well, it's the most exciting thrill that the body can go through. Stimulation of the mental state, of the feelings and emotions of the physical body and the emotional body. Has nothing to do with soul, has nothing to do with leaving this planet or even becoming greater than what you think you are. Let me just put something in there, chat room. I don't know if anybody came in. This kind of was a spur of the moment thing. Come on. Oh, all right. Now, I hope you decide that this is okay, this link, and send it to people you know that think they're smart, think they're religious, think they're spiritual. Tell them that I will debate them on a show, live, offline, however they want to do it, about their truth. I just want to show them that it's a lie. It's twisted. Well, I know God. I know Jesus. Conversation with a God. Really? What brain person can say that? All right. Greetings for coming on. All right. Now, did you want to come on a show? Just say yes, and I'll have to send you the link. Here's the thing. We say we're this. We say that. All right. What can you do to say you're spiritual? What does a spiritual person do? Hold on. Let me just do this real fast. Okay, I put the link in the chat room. I can bring 10 people on. Anybody wants to come on that has something to say, good or bad, I don't care. You could state your opinion and your viewpoint. But I'll tell you this, I'm going to be doing a show. I'm going to be doing a workshop. I keep saying it. Just a lot of details happening around me causing problems. Like somebody just busted our credit card when I was doing a show a couple of days ago. So trying to keep up to life in this world, in this place and frame. Well, here's the thing. We got a serious election coming up, probably one of the most dangerous elections ever. Whatever happens with that could be a very serious problem. And it will show you the mentality of our government system. If you think our government is capable of running a system called the United States in any good way, you really need to ask yourself why and what is their truth. What is their truth, people? Why do you think they can run it? What do you think they can do for us? Make us money? Is Trump really trying to make us all rich? Could he do it? Could he have? Yes, he could have. Maybe it would have been a good thing, but he didn't do that either, did he? And he's still making the rich richer because more people give him money. Now, let's see, the facts about him real or not? Did he make a lot of money? Does he owe money? Which story is real? Which story is not? Doesn't matter. Listen to the way he talks. We got a serious problem. We got a Congress that's so old, they should be put in the senior homes and fed in their room daily. But to allow them to tell us what we got to do, even in a debate, when the vice president and Mr. Biden said they're going to, he didn't say it, but Harris did, that we're going to have, hold on, let me bring this person in. Greetings, can you hear me?
Yeah, hey Tommy, how you doing?
Hey, good, how are you? So, okay, we got two people that were just on the debate 2 days ago. They both said they're going to keep fracking. I know the Republicans are for it to make money and jobs, but the Democrats are going to do it. Why? Because they need votes. They were against it. I don't care what you say. They weren't supporting it. Now they have to. They need the money. They need the jobs. Nobody talks about a truth. They talk about their programmed ideas, which is their truth. Now, I wish the person that was asking the questions asked each one of them, what does fracking mean? And I guarantee neither one of them could describe it.
Right.
Oh, it produces gas. Really? How? Oh, they take it out of the earth. How? What do they use? What causes it? They have no clue. And to think that it's okay and safe is the most ridiculous thing ever. You know, we have more earthquakes wherever they frack. Wherever they're fracking in the United States, there's lots of earthquakes here. Even Puerto Rico's fracking, and they got giant earthquakes all the time now. I don't know what's going on with the islands around Australia, but the biggest army base on the planet is there, not too far away from all these little islands that are having super giant earthquakes every week, every day. So there's a lot there to truth, not your truth, to the real truth. What is happening to the weather? There's a lot of truth there behind it. Now, I try not to say everybody's name, but Michael Moore, pull up his movie of the Earth, his newest movie about free energy. You need to watch it. It starts off pretty boring. I didn't even think I wanted to watch it, but I watched the whole thing. Watch the whole thing. Sit yourself, tie yourself down, and watch it. Because what you will learn will be mind-shattering to the truth that you program that you think is your truth. And what you're told is the truth. Are you ready to wake up, people, or you want to live in a box and die in a box and that's it for your life?
You know, that's funny you mentioned that, because if ever I needed more confirmation of where we're heading, ironically, before I came on, I was listening to a lot of the Native American elders and their version of the Hopi prophecies, and we're definitely going towards the technological path, and that's only destruction for all of us.
Well, let me tell you this. I was with Thomas Banyaka. He was the original carrier of the Hopi prophecy. Then James Keamy was a white guy that was living on the reservation for 20 years, and he started carrying the Hopi prophecy. And he died a year later. I met both of them, and a year after that, they died. And then when I met Grandfather David, I think he's carrying it now. But what it says, people, it's not like an imaginary story. It's what was engraved in the caves that were recently found, maybe 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. Underground caves that the Hopi people lived in. What it says, if the white man doesn't unite with the red man, the world will be destroyed. Plain and simple. It doesn't say anything else. It shows World War I, shows World War II. It shows World War III if we don't unite. It shows the end of the world, and if we do unite, it shows farming becoming a big thing.
Yeah.
So where do you think we're headed? Sasha, the Hopi people, to me, are probably the most spiritual people left in the United States. They were tried to be forced to fight with the Apache people, the Navajo people, and they're true spiritual beings because they lived underground. They didn't have light bulbs and things underground. They used it to die and produce light. They came out to meet the white man. Don't ask me why. Their God should have said, hey, go out there and build a battlefield and then don't let them on and keep them off the United States. But they weren't killers. They weren't murderers. They never were. Not like all the other tribes.
As soon as Columbus saw gold, he went back, notified everybody else, and all these ships started coming for all the material stuff and started killing off the natives.
Money or gold is always the root to all evil. When you think something outside of yourself is more important than something inside of yourself, you're in trouble. You can have fun with spending money, building houses, buying cars. You can have fun going out, camping, skiing, jumping off a plane, whatever it is. But does it help you find your truth? No, it doesn't. The truth's inside, and it's blockaded by a lot of different things. As Sasha knows, and people learn when they start looking for it, it's not easy to get through that gateway or the doorway. It's the hardest thing you'll do in this lifetime, but it's the only thing worth fighting for to do.
Right.
Not getting on a ship and going to another planet, not getting on a ship and going through the universe. None of those things are going to help. Dealing with alien races. Look at the world today. If they could have helped us move forward, why didn't they? And they're thousands and thousands of years old. They've been here for such a long time, and we're still ignorant people right now. So don't expect them to come down with some imaginary truth that's going to help us.
Yeah.
So again, what is your truth? That aliens are going to help us? That St. Peter's going to judge you and help us down here? What do you believe in? Come on, people. I'm willing. Come on my show anytime. Put your truth out there. Show the world, this is my truth. See where it gets you. See what it really means to other people.
If aliens are here to help us, then I guess their version of helping is just look at Phil Schneider. Look what they did.
Yeah, this Story of Help, the show I do with Tina, which is on every Tuesday. Look at the help she got. They didn't help her. No. She could be dying. She's exposed to radiation. She's going through something that nobody can explain. And the scientists, I'm surprised they didn't take her. I mean, they do watch her. But she's radioactive on and off. Radioactive material doesn't do that. So when she's radioactive one day and she's not the next, it's pretty bizarre. So that alone is something outside of mainstream scientific knowledge. So, and I believe she's one of the most realist abductees that I know or have ever known in the past 20, 30 years. I mean, when I was younger, I met women that lost their children at 8.5 months pregnant. And I saw the sonogram. And when they went back to the hospital couldn't believe it because they said she's not even pregnant or wasn't even have traces of being pregnant. The proof was there, but those stories disappeared. Any important story has been taken out of the UFO world. John Ford's still locked up in Long Island in a nut house. Yeah. Sean David Martin is in jail now and he's dying. Any of the people that had any major truth, like Phil Schneider, these people disappear, die, locked away, put away. I mean, it's sad. You talk about truth. Now, they had a truth to tell people. Why am I not taken away? I wonder why. Maybe because they are afraid of God, not aliens and demons and creatures, but of God itself. Now, when Jesus was alive, he was speaking about God, and they were all afraid of that as well. And they made sure that his own people had to help kill him. Why would that be? So people with your truth, religious truth, think about that. Put it in your brain. How could somebody that looked in the eyes of Jesus go to this big thing and say, condemn him, free the murderer, and let's torture and kill Jesus?
Right.
What kind of mentality was it then? What kind of truth did they have? So what do you think Christians have right now? I just wrote a letter to a Christian, and I said, your truth, what is it? Why do you believe that, okay, love's the answer? Do you see love helping anything on this planet? It doesn't help a relationship stay together. And matter of fact, it breaks it apart because somebody falls in love with somebody else. And the idea of what love is a twisted, watered-down version of an aspect of what love is. And it's destroying the planet. Now, I started playing that song. Now, that's what happens with mind, sick mind, abuse, and things. Now, there's a difference. I mean, men think about a lot of it all the time. But when they do it and create it, it becomes karma for people, for families, and themselves.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, what you can say, Sasha?
No, I was just agreeing. I just said, yeah.
So when people think they can get away with things, can you? Now, the whole idea of healing somebody, you can't heal somebody's karma. Why do people insist, well, I went to a healer and they took all my karma away? Oprah, anybody can get this letter to Oprah. I'll do anything they want. Just about. I mean, I've been trying to get in touch with Oprah for maybe 24, 25 years. I did every workshop she did with Deepak Chopra, Eckhart Tolle, and I wrote letters after letters in every show every day to her. I mean, Dr. Phil actually got back to me, but my partner didn't want to go on Dr. Phil's show. I wanted to talk to Oprah, but she won't even talk to me. Whether she got any emails I ever sent her. I came close to her twice. Once in Hawaii, she was in the store that I just walked in the store, and she just left 2 minutes ago. But she has a house here, and she had to go to the bathroom, so she had to go in the store. Not that she would have normally did that, but I missed her. But here's the thing. We have people with money thinking they're important. Money changes everything, especially their ego. And they think they're helping mankind. What about this person that donated $500 million? Was it $500 million? Maybe it was $5 million. No, I think it was more than that. To the Democrat Party. I mean, what you could have did to the United States alone with that money?
Right.
Do we look at what we can really do instead of wasting it? Now I'm dealing with Tom Sauer. I don't know how to say it. I was going to vote for him for president. He backed out. But guess what? He's going to be the person under Biden who's going to be in charge of the weather. I wrote him 20 letters. I donated the first letter I got from him, donated to it. I said, reply to me, and I will vote and campaign and do everything for you. He never did. I said, please, let me know that you have a clue what's going on the planet. What is causing the weather problems? I mean, he couldn't get back to me. He's a multi-millionaire. So millionaires are so far up there, you know what? They have no clue what's really going on in reality. They take stories, they magnify them, and then they make it fit into their programmed idea of their truth. Now, when they say we're going to support fracking, what level do they come from? Hell level, which is planet Earth? You know, we don't have much time to change all these things that are going on. All right. Can we? Of course we can. But not easily, and not within a couple of seconds or minutes. It's going to take time. But the time that it's going to take us to get to that place is not even close to happening. We got a war on the brinks of exploding wide open. We got a disaster to the planet as far as the weather goes and the earthquake chart. Nobody wants to look at that. It's going to be 10 times worse next year, people. When these fires hit the ozone, and what's going to happen with the smoke screen and the aura, the ozone layer, it's going to be disastrous. Do people want to focus on that? How do we change it? Well, the government comes out and says, we could create an ozone layer in a short period of time. Well, why don't they? You know, you say things, well, we can do this, we can do that. Can they stop a meteorite? They sent a bomb to blow up a meteorite. It did absolutely nothing. So, you know, people think, oh, well, we got a hydrogen bomb, neutron bomb, proton bomb, all these kind of weapons. It'll destroy people. It'll crumble houses. But planet Earth, you think it's going to destroy Earth? Earth will be destroyed by itself. And I don't think man can do that directly.
I would think any civilization that intentionally flies a bomb into their own sun that provides everything is not very smart.
Well, what Sasha brought up, and this happened a few years ago, they called them blue bombs. Why? I have no clue. But they hit the sun with them to see what they would do. What if the sun exploded? It would have destroyed human life completely. You know, scientists playing with the black hole theory with CERN, thinking you're going to be able to walk through it, and go into another realm and go through it and all these things, is delusional. Even if they do, what do you think could be the benefit of that? Bringing my alternate reality back to this side. There was a movie on that 2 years ago. Both sides, this side and the other side. and they were actually different colored, like, and they were breaking through one to the other side, and they had to try to fix it and all that. But the idea of that, there's an opposite somewhere in the same dimension or different reality, different realm. Doesn't matter. We're here. We're in this reality. We're in this realm, and we're supposed to learn to get out of it. How can we learn to get out of it when we think it's the only thing that is, and the only thing that is important? I mean, let's get all these big spiritual names. I'd do anything to stand before all of them together. I could take them all on, every single one of them, together, not singularly, because each one has their bull story and fairy tales, talking to God, being one with the universe, being one with their ego, all these things. They don't say it that way. Being a super spiritual being, really. Super powerful being, really. This guy that claimed to be the top mystic on the planet, he got back to me. He said he would debate me, and I'm still trying to set it up 6 months already. Well, he won't do it. Somebody else, I was doing a show with him on his site, on the show that he does, and I couldn't say anything to him directly. And then I decided to get off that show because it's a bunch of lies. When a person claims to be the top mystic, top psychic, you better worry, because then he's actually saying he is God here and now. Jesus didn't even say that. Jesus never said that. And how does mankind fit that words into his mouth? Because they got a corrupt idea of what truth is, meaning their truth, and what they want it to mean, and what it's supposed to mean to other people. Nothing. All right. I don't go back to the 2,000 years, because we were sick then, and we're no better now.
Yeah.
Money is not the problem. It's where we think we get it from, where we think we have it, what we think we can do with it is the problem. Money is the root to all evil. That's a great saying, because it is. Do we really have money? Well, how much do we really have? Nobody knows the amount of gold the United States has. And I keep saying this. They can print as much money as they want and say it's backed on gold. I was just going through my CDs. I had a dollar bill, a silver certificate stuck in there. And I looked how old it was, and I said, wow, there was a time when you could take your gold and silver certificates and demand that in back for the paper money.
Yeah.
It lasted a short period of time because they didn't want to give all the gold away, and then that stopped. Like if you have a gold certificate now, you can't demand gold for it. Or a silver certificate, you can't demand silver for it. But if we go back into the gold market, which we might be doing, which China is doing, if anybody out there has a gold certificate, think about it. If you demand gold, will they have to give it from the time that was printed to you? Think about it. It might be. We don't know. But they'll change the laws if they have to, if they suddenly realize they have to give everybody super amounts of gold. But we're in a serious situation. Money's not the answer. Religion's not the answer. Becoming a spiritual guru is not the answer. Listening to one's not the answer. Where is the answer? Well, I've been talking to Sasha for a while, and I tell him certain things. And I'll tell you again, out there, people, it starts inside yourself, looking deeper to what you are outside of this body.
You just read my mind.
All right. This body, all right, is useless. Is it beautiful? We think some women are. Women think some men are. Is it beautiful? I think the human body is one of the most disgusting things. A plant doesn't throw up on you or poop on you or any of those things. Where the human body does, get it dirty and all these other things. It gets insects, gets bites, gets disease, gets a lot of different things. So you think it's really a beautiful thing? In Atlantis, souls had much more reign over the body. meaning they didn't have to talk, they didn't have to eat, and they didn't eat animals, they didn't kill, and all those things. So the body was much healthier every which way. And they were dealing with a higher power, higher
Well,
source.
not to mention the concept of killing wasn't even in their heads.
Well, see, when Mr. Anunnaki people, Inky and the New, and all those so-called named people programmed the human race to become mass killers and sacrifice people, do people want to talk about that part of it? Oh no, they made our DNA and made us this, that, and what did they make us do? Nothing. Just tell you, go out and kill people, have fun. And mankind accepted it. We could have stopped that. You think how many years, 30,000 years ago, if we just realized killing wasn't the answer? You know where we would be right now? Think about it. Every 10 years, we take a giant step to a totally different reality. We move forward, like we jump from this to that, from no car, no radio to a TV to cell phones. I mean, the way we jump every 10 years, then every 25 years we take a giant leap. So imagine 30,000 years of that. Where would we be now? I mean, a cartoon that was on TV called The Jetsons. You remember that show? Imagine if we were beyond that even.
Yeah.
We could be, or we could have been, and we're not. And we're still fighting over nothing. We're fighting over oil. We're fighting over rights. We're fighting over color. We're fighting over ridiculous things. Nobody's fighting over them killing Jesus. Nobody's fighting them killing the native people. Nobody's fighting over things that were really, really important. Joe Schmo got killed. Oh, well, let's destroy every place we can. Now the killer of Floyd is out on the street. Is he going to start riots? Are people going to say, well, he's a mass killer. He's a murderer. He shouldn't be allowed to walk the streets. Well, maybe he shouldn't. But then when you talk about people, famous people like Mr. Bill Cosby, and I have to bring him up because he's an evil person in my book, who actually was my idol when I was little, accused by 40 people or more of sexual charges, and claiming he didn't do anything. Obviously, nobody wants to admit that. Even if it was 3, not 30, not 40, even if it was 3 people, he's a mass rapist. He gets convicted, but he's famous. He's an idol. So what did they give him? 3 years. And he's getting out. I wish I was bad. I don't wish it, but I mean, if I was bad, he would be somebody I would take out in a second and put him where he deserves to be, not on planet Earth walking around where he could go after women and laugh at him when he sees them and all those kind of things. And what if the people that he actually abused sees that? Do you know what it does to their own consciousness? It's sad how men think. Men think pretty pathetic. So again, if you're a man, I'm sure your truth is useless to everything under the sun. If you're a woman, I believe it would be a little more beneficial. I'm not saying how much more, but I'm sure it's a little more positive than a man's truth. But then again, you're still programmed by the same stories. How Muslim women have to stay and abide by the laws. Chinese women stay by their laws as well. The law of the land. How about the law of God? Which do you choose to live by? Sorry, land isn't the right answer. If you said it and believe it, you're wrong. You went to war for whose law? The president's law? Not your law. The people that left the country, whose law were they going by? Their own. They lived and died and followed through by their own truth, which mankind has to learn how to do. Well, I'll die if I don't follow their truth. Well, maybe dying's not as bad as you think it is. We all got to die. Would you rather die in their story, or how about dying in your own? Dying in your own real truth, not your programmed truth. Please, I've been writing letters to Deepak Chopra every day. I write letters to the Dalai Lama even every week, at least once or twice. Eckhart Tolle, I write him a real lot. Neil Diamond Walsh. Well, don't. Neil Diamond Walsh, Conversation with God. I've been writing about 100 letters a week to him, and all his people write me tons of letters back. And guess what? I have people sending me actual proof of who and what he really is. How bad he is, what a liar he is. How he created a scenario to make money. Sadly, it's making him a fortune. Now, another big name who I knew personally wrote Saved by the Light, Damian Brinkley. He's linking up with David Wilcock, and they're going to do rainbow bodies and all kinds of ridiculous things that they have no clue about. It's sad. Your truth should be what you teach or show or try to promote, not somebody else's. But if you don't have a truth, you can't promote anything. Don't promote somebody else's story, because you're not only increasing their karma, you're increasing your own.
Yeah.
All right, somebody said, is astral body any better? The astral plane is no better. It's better than here because you don't have a solid body. And you're a little more aware. But you don't get to stay there unless you balance out your karma. The astral body is limited to the astral plane. You can't go to higher dimensions in your astral body. It's like you can't go into higher dimensions in your physical body. People, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out simple things. I mean, if you're still trying to put a square peg in a round hole, good luck with that. How long is it going to take you to get it in there? Never. As you get a saw and cut the hole open or cut the square open. Now, we're talking about reality. The astral body is being used very evilly here. A very famous person on the internet, on a lot of the UFO shows, specials now, is talking about she's doing all these experiments with psychic, she used the word levitation, remote viewing, but she doesn't want to call it remote viewing. I wrote her 20 letters. I said, you know how evil that is? It's called invasion of a person's space. And the first spiritual law that exists, which people don't listen to, is the law of non-interference.
I know.
You can't interfere in somebody else's space unless they invite you into it. So these people claiming and saying these things, trying to do this, trying to do that. Oh, we're going to change the world. It'll be better. Empathic. I was empathic. And there's these workshops that become empathic. And do you know what empathic means? Seeing the lives of people. It doesn't mean seeing goodness and love. It's seeing the lives of people. I mean, if a person smiles and then they pretend that they're nice, oh, I can see their aura. They're a beautiful person. And they go home and they beat up their daughter, their child, whatever it is, their wife. Did you see their aura? Can you really read? You're not empathic. You can't see the lies, because when you look at a person from an empathic view, which I was, you see the lies and you can hear them coming from them, not somebody else. Somebody's walking down the street and they're thinking about how they could rob a store or how they could blow up a car or whatever it is. And if you're empathic, you can see and hear that. And the reason why I say it's true, because I was. And I had to prove it to myself every day. I said, that guy can't be thinking this, or she can't be thinking that. And I'll go up to a person on the street. Would you really do that to your daughter? What are you talking about? What? They freak out. You hit somebody with their lie that they're playing with, it totally destroys them. I mean, it was fun at one level. But the part that made me depressed and had to get rid of the gift I had was everybody was the same. There was no spiritual people walking around anywhere. Oh, my child's. They always call their children different things, saying that they're spiritual and things like that. Well, it's my son and he's spiritual. Why? I did meet one that was psychic, and I worked with him. He read something for me, and then I read back to him, and I said, "Look, what do you want to do with your life? What do you feel you can do?" And I helped him realize where he needs to go, where he's focused. Somebody said, "What if someone creates a flying car in their garage? What if they do? Are they going to fly anywhere? Are they going to be able to drive it around on the public streets and into the air?" You know, we had a car that ran on water when I was 12 years old. That guy disappeared. Guy who created Better World Technology had free energy and was selling it, and he was kind of disappeared. Somebody asked me about Kreskin. Yeah, well, he was the person I studied hypnosis with when I was a little tiny munchkin. When I was doing hypnosis by 14, I was hypnotizing everybody in my neighborhood. A flying car, is it going to be beneficial? No! We can't drive a car on the road. Imagine being in space where you don't have a braking system that could stop you and all those kind of things. We will have many more serious accidents. I mean, now that they're talking about drones and delivering and stuff, we have a lot of fly-by shootings. guess what I mean.
That's funny.
But, you know, we look at reality and we're destroying it every single day. We're ignorant to what we're doing. And you still want to say, oh, the aliens are going to help us. Please, people, time's running out. I didn't know how long I was going to do this show, but I just want you to know I'm here, and I'll be here until I die. Could be tomorrow, could be the next day. But I will be here until, doing the best I can, giving you the truth that you need to know. And whether you follow it, find it, or try to use it, or get in touch with it is your choice. Well, good luck with your flying car. If you created it, what are you going to do with it? You can't fly into the astral plane. I mean, you might think you can, like certain think they can. But here's the thing. Meditation is only a starting point. But see, if you don't take meditation a lot further, it's only that. Thinking about relaxing the body and giving up thinking makes you anything important. The same as becoming one with nothingness. It's hard because my partner believes in that. And I said, why would you want to do that? If I was going to become one with nothingness, would make everything I do useless. So why would I want to be doing anything useless to get to nothingness?
Is that what Eckhart Tolle is teaching?
Eckhart Tolle is teaching that. Deepak Chopra is teaching that. I mean, a lot of the UFO people are talking about becoming one with the universe, universal energy. Sure, you hear that other word, the goddess. There's a goddess on the fifth plane, but people aren't going to get there anytime soon. They can't get past the astral plane. So we can go into that. People, do you have questions? Do you really want to get into something that you need to know in your life? Please, I'll help you get to an answer for it. And I'm not going to look it up in the dictionary. And if I don't know the word by what you're trying to say, I'll try to figure out what it is. I mean, I don't use physical words much anymore because they're all man-made ideas of an idea that they don't know. When a person created the word spiritual, what was he? A spiritual being? When a person created the word God, what did he know about God? I mean, Moses didn't know much about God. I mean, considering he had to write 613 laws out of his own ego rather than living with his so-called 10 commandments, it's pretty pathetic. And his laws got worse and worse and worse and worse. One after the other, they just got 10 times worse than the one before it. So it's time, people. There isn't much time for you to take a step out of the program. I know my truth. I have a truth. To what is a truth? Where can I find it? How can I grow mine? Because your truth, whatever it is, whatever you believe in, you're going to go into heaven and meet with Jesus and be on whatever. Really? Do you have a clue what you're going to do? I am at Hawksblood1, HAWKSBLOOD1 at AOL.com. Please text me, email me. You want to read my first 2 books? I can send them to you as an ebook for free. I really should get my newest book made into an ebook. I'm not into the mood for selling it, and I feel if I could get it out in more people's hands, it'd be worth it. The idea is truth has to be given away. People can't buy truth. People can buy lies and love to do it, but they won't buy the truth, especially when it doesn't fit into their programmed idea of what their truth is. UFO people seem to pull on what people assume and accept. People want to accept that everybody that has a dream and a vision and wake up in their bed with aliens and helping them, that it's real. They don't want to take in consideration things that are much more real and have always been here, is demons. Satan's army. What about that? Possessions have been here for 2,000 years, and Jesus was one of the people to show it and end it, if people wanted to. And we still have large numbers of people doing it. My good friend does roughly 300 a year, and now he does them over the phone if he has to even. So it's not a big deal, but it's a big deal if you don't accept it and realize that it's happening. Go on TV. There's at least 10 shows on every week about ghosts, demons, entities, poltergeists, all those words. They're hurting people now. They're creating dangerous things, doing serious damage to people, doing serious things to children. Do you want to stop that, or you just want to make believe that that's not real? A hovercraft technology. Wow, is that beneficial for anything? I mean, we have a hovercraft boat, which goes from the Hudson River all the way down to the shore area, which I watched. It was pretty cool. But so what? Is that helping us with even creating a relationship, a non-violent relationship? What to teach children? The idea of what spiritual really means, the idea of what death really means, the idea of what God really means, any of those things? No. So you have no truth, people. I put my life on the line for that statement. I live under God only, period. Nobody else can tell me what to do. And I listen to my partner as much as I can, but outside of that, please, we're coming short on time, not only with my show, but in life. Are you ready? Can you deal with the truth? Can you face the idea that you die tomorrow? You're leaving your family behind. You aren't all going to get on a ship and get on a good ship lollipop and fly off with a floating boat into the Never Never Lands of the Candyland fairy story, whatever. This is reality. It's not an illusion. It's not a dream. If it's a dream, you can close your eyes and get out of it or create a new one. But you can't do that. You close your eyes and wake up and here you are again, and I can still stick a fork in you the next day. So you can believe great spiritual teachers. I can give you stories and lies and be rich. But I don't want to lead people down into a rabbit hole that goes nowhere. You know, the elderly people will be wiped out. They're wiping out young people as well. Then middle-class people will be wiped out as well. They're eliminating people if you don't understand what's happening.
Yep.
And people, I have a friend, she's on top of everything. And she's pulling all these charts and everything that's out there about. And it's all out there, the truth. When they created the virus, they go into detail what it needed, what it was composed of, and all these little things that are documented. And it's been worked on. It's not a new idea. It was, oh, the Chinese made it. No, it's made in the United States and given to the Chinese. And they decided to use it as a weapon. Hold on 1 second. We have to move forward sometime soon in your own life. When Jesus told his disciples to leave their families, It sounds like a really horrible thing. I don't want to do the show too much longer, but if you go up, I put the link out there where you can get on the show. Go up a little bit in the chat room, and you'll see a link. If you click on that link, you get on the show. If you want to come on, we have such synthetic stories that are unuseful for any reason.
The way,
what was that?
well, I was gonna say, the way I see it is like it's already too late, and people aren't even willing to see the truth. So I don't see any way for this ending peacefully.
You keep saying, let me on your show. Go up to the link and come on if you want to come on. It's right there. A soul can move forward right now if they want to. They can suddenly say, hey, I want to find the truth. I want to work for the truth and work towards that. If it's meant to be, if your karmas are right, you will take a step forward. I mean, if you're a mass killer, don't expect to get that answer like it's going to come to you or it's going to be given to you. It's not.
Right.
Go up in the chat room, up a little further up. Stick it in there again. You want to come on and tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Okay, this person wants to tell us the truth, so we're going to let him come on if he wants to.
Okay.
All right. So people want to believe they have the truth, they know the truth, and they can help and all this stuff. Help us what? It's not about saving the planet. The planet doesn't need our help for anything. Doesn't need us help for water. It doesn't need help for air. It doesn't need help for any of the things we think it does.
I mean, sure, we're screwing it up, but eventually nature, yeah.
Okay, his device is not connected yet. He's trying to get on. I'll give him a few more shots to try.
Oh, is this the Mac 4 guy?
Yeah. He's trying. I'll give him a few more minutes to try to get on. You need to turn your mic and camera on before you can connect, just so you know. It has to say yes or no up on the top if you didn't do that.
I was going to mention, you were talking about gold and money. Federal Reserve just recently came out saying that they're going to stop printing paper money. It's all going to be digital.
Well, we knew that was going to happen. And it's going to be a little chip in your band.
Yep.
Somebody said Eddie Van Halen. What about him? Just try to restart it. Go back into the sign-on screen. You'll see where it says turn on your mic. You have to turn on your mic and your video camera.
You have to let your browser allow access to your microphone and your camera.
Well, yeah, sure. I really like Van Halen. I like a lot of music. I mean, there's only a few that I didn't like. I didn't like when rock and roll went to disco and then disco went to rap. That's when music totally got wiped out. We don't hear real good music. But I was more into singing anyway than music ever. What a person sings about. Now, I played that song in the beginning. If you listen to any of the words, it's the most depressing song you ever wanted to hear. But it's a real story. It is a real story, and that's all that matters. Bob Dylan wrote a lot of stories. I mean, it's really hard to figure out what he's saying, but if you can, he always gets into some things pretty deep. Not all things, but he was one of the greatest writers that ever existed. Wrote more songs than anybody else, and they all went to gold after he sold his soul to the devil, which he said he did. So, you know, there's things out there. Are you ready? Are you willing? Do you want to move forward? On the airplane, yeah, it's beautiful music compared to here. It gets better when you go past the airplane. the sound just gets better and better. Flute and violin music are much higher realms than the astral plane, but obvious planet Earth is the most dense and coarse. I'm using my laptop today. My screen doesn't black out every 10 minutes. I can't figure out why. My computer does. I tried everything under the sun with it to stop it. I uploaded my speed on my internet. I changed all my computer parts, everything, but it's still doing it. Maybe the government's got a tracer inside it or something. Who knows? And I'll see how long it takes them to figure out that I'm on the laptop now. But Sasha, you got anything you want to ask, say, or anything?
Not at the moment.
So, how's the weather where you are? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's still pretty good.
Well, I made a hot tub, and sometimes I don't turn it on. But you know, when you work real hard, if so, I mean, I close my jump.
Well, now you're
into a
lagging.
lake.
Now you're lagging pretty bad, actually.
My voice.
Well, now you're.
Voice, both.
Yeah, your voice and your image is frozen or was frozen. You're good now.
Oh. I know what's going on.
Okay.
Like I said, I mentioned the government. Suddenly, my camera gets screwed up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Throughout the whole hour, everything was smooth until you mentioned the government.
Yeah, just so you know, I usually use AOL. I froze. Yeah, I usually go to AOL, but I do use all the other ones. I use Google Chrome, Microsoft. I mean, Fox.
Yeah.
Each one of them still gave me the same problem on my computer. I tried everything on that computer, and it still keeps freezing. So I guess he can't get on. He's trying. There he is. He's coming.
Hey,
There he
can you
is.
hear me? Can you hear me?
We can
Yeah.
hear you.
You hear me? All right. So I found your YouTube channel through whatever. Aliens are real, yes?
Yes.
Well, before I reveal my secrets, I want to know, where can I find your information?
Hold on, let me shut my computer off. It's playing games. I don't know what it's doing. My information is on www.adventuresintothe.strange.com. That's my webpage. I had to tear it all down. There's a person I was working with. We had a dispute, and I had to take a lot of the pictures off my thing, and I just shut my whole thing down. I'm trying to redo it, but it's a starting point. Like I said, my books, I can send an ebook out. I'm on my 5th book right now. So I've been out there writing half of my life. I've been lecturing and doing UFO work for most of my life. Sargel 18 and I shot more pictures of ships than anybody else in the United States. And that's for real. So yeah, I mean, I was next to a Bigfoot. I was next to a ship coming to abduct my brother. I stopped it. I mean, all those things. I've been there, done it. I'm dealing with a light ship right now in Hawaii, and 3 of the people around me in the neighborhood are all seeing it.
So there's a guy that you referenced. His name is Sergeant 18 or something.
Sargel 18. Yes.
Yeah. If you can please pull up a video of him recently within the last 12 weeks where he shows a video of a UFO.
I told you I have not been friends with him for about 3 months now. We did Kerry Cassidy. You know who that is, right?
Yeah.
I did a show with her for 9 months with Sargel 18. We put up 5 pictures every week of a ship and different things every single week. We were putting a lot of truth out there. Kerry Cassidy never listened to one of our shows. And I confronted. I said, "Why didn't you even listen to one of our shows? You promote all these other whistleblowers that are telling great stories, but no proof. And we have more proof than anybody else in the United States. When we were lecturing for global sciences, we lectured for them for a couple of years, and we
All right.
traveled all over the
I,
United States. Did
I believe you. I believe you. But at the same time, I've had an actual alien encounter, and I believe that aliens, they need people like you said earlier in your presentation, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where why would they visit the president? Why would they visit the president of Russia? Why would they visit the president of America? Because they have high IQ. So my I realized that why would they visit a person who aren't the president?
well. Let me say one thing first. About 3 weeks ago, they gave the IQ of every president, and Trump isn't one of the smartest ones out there as well. If they would have gave Nikolai Tesla an IQ, I bet he would have probably been more superior than most of them. Einstein, his theories were wrong. A lot of them were wrong. He was working with an alien race that gave him false information, and the government kept that as real and true. So we can go into why they would take a stranger, because nobody misses a stranger. They eat people. They use people. So
And
do they
that's
want to?
and that's exactly why we believe you, because there's this false narrative that aliens are one type, but aliens have subjective views like people do. And you just said that people, aliens pick and choose, which is very accurate. But at the same time, hover technology, hoverboard technology, don't you see a use for medical people?
See, here's the thing, and I'm going to explain where I come from. I consider myself walking a spiritual path. I don't say I'm spiritual, but there's a fine line between spiritual and physical reality. Now, disease was created for a reason. I mean, God could have created perfect souls that didn't get sick. In Atlantis, souls didn't get sick. All right. When they attained the awareness they needed, they left. It wasn't like you had to get sick to die. Now, people want to live. Why? The earth is horrible. Situations are horrible. So it's a programming thinking that it's important to stay here and help other people. The idea of love and all those words are imaginary, because we aren't here to help everybody else. Soul comes here for itself. Nobody else, no other alien. Aliens do not deal with a God. All right. They can program us and make us believe they are. They deal with them. They try to make us believe that they are. Deities and gods, I call them little gods, and aliens are separate. But when deities stopped coming here, aliens were here. And mankind accepted the aliens much more over the deities because they were physical. And they did come down in their ships and everything else. So they were accepted. Even Quetzalcoatl and all the deities that were supposedly be here. Quetzalcoatl was a human, and then he became a deity, supposedly. But I actually work with deities. They're not human. They have never been human. So when people say this and that, where are they coming from? Where's their proof? Did they experience it? Did they die? I died 5 times. I mean, and I spent 50 years, 45 years getting out of my body and meeting with angels, deities, and I call them little gods. So it's all real. But there's things that are mentioned and people forget about them. The silver cord, which is attached to all souls born on this planet, keeps them here in this physical to the astral world. It doesn't allow them to go into a world beyond that. And that's the purpose of it. God created the perfect system for perfect reasons. But even within that, mankind has figured a way to destroy it. And saying we're going to make better things. Diseases, 90% of everything, diseases were created by man, not by God, not by a natural situation. When it's a natural disease, it was created to take out people because their karma was too big for this planet. And it was already harming the planet greatly. when the flood came, when Sodom and Gomorrah happened. It was to take people out that was so evil that the world was going to destroy the people on it, not the world itself. I cut my silver cord right. Now, again, you don't have the ability to if you don't even know it's
All
there.
right. All right, before I tell you about my alien technology, I was visited by aliens, and they gave me the future of hoverboard. Why is it that like I visited the guy? He said 18. If you can pull up his video on YouTube, maybe 1 month ago, where he showed an alien in sky. If you can
do you have
tell
a title
me
for that?
what. No, I mean I can look it up in 15 minutes, but I mean 15 seconds, but I don't
Well, if you
know.
get the link, send it to me because he's not talking to me now.
Yeah, he's full of. I think he's full of shit. Basically,
Well,
he's
no,
full of shit.
he has a serious ego problem,
He's full of
and now
shit.
he became so-called spiritual, meaning he's working with Jesus,
He's full of
and
shit.
that took me over the top because I
He's,
said he's not there.
yeah, he's
So
full of shit. But
yeah.
so all right. So we agree that he's full of shit. I think that I'm an engineer, and I will create. You'll probably see a 1984, 1985, Back to the Future type thing, real soon. But my question is to you: why can I like? Okay, so basically in the comments I reference, why can I see anything regarding you, and you reference that guy, 18. But what about you? Like, what can I see from actual, proof? Like, I really want to see proof.
Well, here's the thing. I stayed with him for many years. We went out for 4 or 5 hours a night, 4 or 5 days a week. He copyrighted everything. All right. And he copyrighted 3,000 pictures. Not most of them, but a lot of them were mine. So I can kind of use them. I mean, one day I can let you come on my site and I'll pull out my photo album and I'll show you the pictures directly that I shot and the things I work with. But I dealt with a lot of spiritual beings and things like that, which I couldn't get pictures of them, and you're not allowed to. I'm dealing with a light ship. I just recorded it 2 nights ago, a blinking light ship, and I actually got it on film for the first time in 2 years.
I can actually vouch for that because I saw that video.
So, and it's amazing because I got half of the people around me all seeing the ships and everything that's over us right now. Third Phase of the Moon are the 2 guys that are twins from Hawaii. They put all the videos up right now. I was supposed to send it to them, but I got it as an AVI file, and I needed it to convert it to an MP file. So I just bought the program last night that converts all the videos and stuff. I tried and I gave up. So I said, I'll buy the program. So I'm going to just send it to him as of probably today or tomorrow. I've just been so busy. But I have a digital camera, came from Japan, and everything's AVI files. And you can't even send them on AOL, and it doesn't come up when you bring it up. So I just found out how to translate them. But
I honestly believe you. Like I've vetted you for many months before I've actually came enclosed. But the fact that you align yourself to that guy 18 is like it doesn't do anything for you, and I'm glad
I understand that, but realize he had power over the government. We were stopped on a highway speeding, and the cops pulled us over, and they go, "Who are you?" And he goes, "I'm Sergeant 18," and they just got in their cars and drove away. He used to be a psychic reader for the government, and he decided he wanted to work with people, so he left the government, and that's when they started watching him. But he was involved when Tesla was working with DuPont, and his ship crashed there, and they flooded the city, and all that stuff went down, and that's where we did all our UFO stuff. All that stuff's real. except when he started blowing
It
smoke
is.
in the air and creating those images and
Yeah.
stuff. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
I
That
mean, the
those
real
images
ships.
are like those images is like literally garbage. I don't know what
Well,
he's been through personally, but those images are garbage.
well, the silhouettes of Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and Saint and all that. You can take a cloud and make it anything you want. But
Exactly.
I didn't agree with that. I have to admit, when we filmed Orbs, we were in New York City, and there was 250 people there. He was talking about Orbs while I filmed pictures the whole time while we were in the lecturing, and then I showed all the pictures at the end. Every picture had Orbs all over them. Every single picture we shot, that I shot. So when we started traveling with Global Sciences, we were taking people out at nighttime, and one of the pictures of me dancing, there's like thousands of orbs over me. 3 different people shot the picture. Now, somebody brought up Sean Morton. Now, he's got a bad rap. He's dying. The government's killing him. He's in jail. He discovered Area 51. No matter what any UFO person out there says, he discovered Area 51. He was taking bands of people before they bought all the land out every other Thursday when the ships used to come in there and land. And then they went inside the base and everything. So it was real. So, and obviously they were always on top of him. Then when he becoming a sovereign citizen, they hated him. They didn't want anybody to become sovereign citizens. So now he's in jail. He's dying. And I won't even go into all the things they did to him in the past year. But I don't think he's going to live much longer. Now he's got cancer from his throat down into his lungs. But they operated on his eyes and blinded him. He's blinded in one eye, and his other eye he could barely see out of. They won't let him get any operations, and they won't let him see a doctor. 6 months, he's not allowed to see a doctor. And now with the quarantine, he's in a room. He can't leave the room for no reason. They're all locked in their rooms. They can't move out of it. So it's a horrible thing that they're doing to him. And Sargel hates him as well. And that's what kind of broke us up. We were doing a show, and I mentioned Sean David Morton, and he said, "Oh," and then his wife came on and said, "That effing idiot," and that was it. I said, "Look, I know he has his disagreements. He was supposed to put out a book. He says Sean stopped it. And why is Sean famous? Because Sean did something that nobody else did. I saw videos, and now this is going to be, I'm going to say it, but I can't prove it now. Sean David Morton had 3 videos that nobody else on this planet had. One was of Kennedy getting shot from the front of the car. One of them was the bases on the other side of the moon. And one of them was how the government's cloning grays. And I saw all 3 of them. When he was arrested, when he was arrested, they took everything from him. They took everything he owned.
All right, I respect your opinion. So let me ask you this. Aliens, right? Aliens have good and bad intentions. If I was announced by an alien, I don't know where they come from, but if I was announced by an alien and it has technology that has good intentions and very, very, very bad intentions, do you think that I could pursue it? I should pursue it, or should I just let it
All
go
right.
like this?
No. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You need to pursue it. You need to build a base of people around you that you trust. All right. Because when it gets released, the government will try to black it out. But at that point, if you have a group of people around you already, they won't be able to do that.
Yeah.
And whatever you do, don't get to the point when it's complete before you release it, because John Ford had the best video of a ship crashing on Long Island, which I saw, and he
You're
sent it around the TV. So now nobody ever gets to see those videos. I did, but if he would have released it, they couldn't have did anything to him because it would have been out there. So what I'm saying is, if you can make it a good, see, even Tesla said they're going to use my inventions wrong. They're not going to be able to use them wisely. He was right about that. Bob Lazar and John Lear. Well, they're doing everything they can, and did they help mankind move forward in any way? Well, if your invention, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a good idea if you can keep it safe and make it beneficial. It's definitely work at it, but you have to be willing to put your life on the line because it will be your life on the line when it comes out. But I'm not going to say don't do it. I mean, if you're going to live in fear and not do what you know is right, then there's no sense to live. I mean,
All
if
right,
the government
thank you.
if the government came and took me out tomorrow, I don't care. I know where I'm going, and I'm happy to go there. So they're not going to stop me from that. They can stop me from talking to these brain dead people on this planet. That's their choice. But that's my answer to you. I hope it's what it's all I can say. I'm as honest as I can be always, and I give whatever I feel is right. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't do
Thank you.
those things. But I'm glad you came on. But you can text me. We can talk. You can come on the show directly if you want to talk about it sometime. But like I said, build a foundation around yourself for your own protection first, because otherwise it'd be too easy to get rid of you. My best friend, his whole family disappeared in 3 days. He came over my house. I showed him UFO pictures. He worked for NASA. 3 days later, we were supposed to get together and have a pool party and talk about creating a civilization, and his whole family disappeared. Kids disappeared out of school, and I never heard from them again. So they watch everything. Whether we think that the government's stupid or not, they're not.
All right, thank you so much.
Trump
Yeah, Tommy, you're freezing again.
might be shutting down, freezing it. Look, it's been a pleasure. You got my email. Everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Send this to everybody else you know out there, because who knows how far this is going to go. But please, it's you, yourself, that you got to work and work on, find out your truth, who you are, why you're here, and where you're going to go when you die, because that's going to be it sooner or later. So peace, love, compassion. Thank you for coming on, Sasha. Thank you for everybody in the chat room. Till next time, I'll be doing a show Tuesday with Tina. Tune into that show. I'm going to be doing as many shows as I can from now on, and I'm paying for it. So I want to do what I can with it. All right, everybody. Till next time.
Okay. See you guys later. Thanks,
Bye,
Tommy. Bye.
You ready to go, Mr. Gibbs? Huh? Want to go for a walk?